Heath Ledger's brilliant Oscar-winning performance as the Joker in The Dark Knight could have been just the beginning. In an interview with News Australia, the late actor's sister Kate revealed that Ledger was incredibly excited about his work with director Christopher Nolan in The Dark Knight, and he was looking forward to playing the iconic villain again in another movie. Kate admitted that the supposed demons one critic described Ledger as having didn't exist. She explained, "He was a really happy person and he had huge plans for his future. He was so proud of what he had done in The Dark Knight. And I know he had plans for another Batman movie. He just had the best time ever doing that film. When he came home at Christmas, he couldn't wait to tell us all about it, and he was doing the voice and laughing, showing me all the rushes. We had a great time." Kate also mentioned that she spoke with Ledger the night before he died of an accidental prescription drug overdose, and as she described it, the siblings spent time laughing and joking together. Ledger's unexpected death came on January 22, 2008, 6 months before The Dark Knight arrived in theaters. The Australian actor was just 28 years old at the time of his passing. The Dark Knight, one of two of Ledger's posthumous releases, opened in theaters in July 2008. Ledger's turn as the deranged criminal Joker redefined the iconic Batman villain and impressed both fans and critics alike. He had delivered what went on to be an Oscar-winning performance as one of DC Comics' most famous bad guys, and he'd never be able to do it again. Writing for The New Yorker, critic David Denby had only positive things to say about Ledger, saying, "It has one startling and artful element, the sinister and frightening performance of the late Heath Ledger as the psychotic murderer, the Joker. That part of the movie is upsetting to watch and, in retrospect, both painful and stirring to think about. His performance is a heroic, unsettling final act. This young actor looked into the abyss." A lasting but totally unfounded consensus among fans is that Ledger's performance as the Joker may have contributed to his death in one way or another, which would suggest that the experience was far more traumatic than anyone knew, and that he wouldn't have wanted to revisit the character if he got the opportunity. However, according to the New York Times, Ledger himself had said, "Playing the Joker was the most fun I've ever had, or probably ever will have, playing a character."
Why so serious?
Filmmaker Terry Gilliam, who directed Ledger in his final performance as Tony in the fantasy flick The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, also shot down gossip about the late actor, telling The Talks that the stories about the Joker role making him unstable were all hogwash. Gilliam said, "They were trying to imply that playing the Joker had made him crazy. Absolute nonsense. Heath was so solid. His feet were on the ground and he was the least neurotic person I've ever met. Heath was just great, and that's why it became so impossible to understand. There was none of this twisted neurosis that a lot of actors suffer from."
And the minute we'd say cut, we'd be telling a joke about something else. We were back to having fun again.
It seems clear that Ledger truly had an amazing time playing Joker. What isn't clear, however, is whether Nolan had planned to include Ledger in 2012's The Dark Knight Rises. At the time, Nolan wasn't even sure that he himself would be back for a third film, as there wasn't an overarching narrative in place yet. If Ledger had lived to churn out another Oscar-caliber performance, perhaps it would have secured more Batman movies for Nolan and an entirely different future for the DC movie universe. At least fans will always have The Dark Knight and Ledger's haunting embodiment of the Joker to look back on. What they also have is more Joker heading to the big screen, as Joaquin Phoenix is bringing the Clown Prince of Crime to life in director Todd Phillips' Joker, set to hit theaters on October 4th, 2019. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.